Welcome back to Bash Bros and Notorious Pro Wrestling episode 11? 12. Episode 12. Where we find out what would happen if Conor McGregor started his own wrestling promotion. So it's been a week since you were last here, so we'll probably talk about what has happened since. In terms of our own wee company, nothing. We haven't made any moves, there's been no TV deals, no contract extensions. The last thing we did was sign the mighty Don't Kneel. So nothing from us. News from around the world though, a little bit of gossip, and that is that Love is officially dead. So Mike Bennett and Maria Kanellis have officially divorced. Maybe it's just me, but these happen a lot. Like divorce, like I have the relationship settings set to low changes, but in every game I've ever played, like people get divorced and split up way too often, in my opinion, in this game. Like I've had Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch split up before in a game. I think I had Stephanie and Triple H split up once. I don't foresee this really happening because I think these two are madly in love in real life. But hey ho, so there you go. Love is dead. Stick that. That's oh my god, that could be the title of the episode. Love is dead. A wee tidbit is New Japan. So New Japan, remember a while back, New Japan actually went to war with a couple of people. So New Japan kind of went hostile to AEW, went hostile to NXT UK, went hostile with WWE. New Japan kind of just became like quite aggressive, I suppose. And then recently as well, they actually went up to the big size. So they are, although they're not number one in the world in terms of popularity, in terms of their reach, they are the biggest company in the world. They've just kind of continued to be dicks. So they've actually ended all their talent trading agreements. So with MCW, ROH and Rev Pro, I believe the only relationship they still have is, the only trading agreement that they still have with is New Japan of America. Yeah, so they have it still. They'll trade with them, but everywhere else that they have, they just apparently don't like them anymore. So there you go. So New Japan have become the dicks of this world, this wrestling universe that we are currently in. No other news other than that. So let us book the go home show before our next pay-per-view, Aye Yer Ballix. Okay, so we are back for Wanted, coming from, I believe it is Black Box, yes, in Belfast. The go-home show then before the Aye Yer Ballix pay-per-view, so there was no issues in this other than I kind of wanted, on the pre-show I kind of just give people who weren't on the main card, but planning to have pay-per-view matches, give them some momentum with a couple of wins. Other than that, nothing really drastic. You may notice I have like more 15-minute matches in this. There was a comment I read about how the match not being considered important. It doesn't take too much of a hit, or doesn't hit your overall rating too much, maybe a point or two. So I'm going to maybe experiment with that a bit, especially in the matches where the guys don't have the psychology to carry kind of longer matches. The likes of the main event, Doug Williams has psychology, he'll be able to carry Easton Reese through a 20-minute match. But other matches with guys who don't have strong psychology, yeah, they'll be kind of maybe 15 minutes. But we'll see how this one goes. So let's do this. Okay, so in the pre-show, Cyborg Rose beat Ken Malmsteen and Nathan Cruz, just two random heels I put together, in a 41 rated match. So Kid Lyco's got a 50, still just Kid Lycos, man, is just doing good matches, like head and shoulders above everyone else in this match. Junior 36, Nathan 35, and Malmsteen 35. If Junior maybe starts to go up a bit, I might consider pushing them as maybe the first tag team to win the titles when we introduce them, but I think Junior really needs to up his game just. So next then, in a not a squash match, because it's the Force of Nature, Timmy Force versus Rob Lynch, and it gets jobbed out in less than 10 minutes. So Rob Lynch beat Timmy Force with the district line. 38, it was a squash match. It's more just to get Rob a bit of momentum. So 45 and 45. I'm going to guess it was limited by 1, the fact that it was short, and 2, just how short it was. Obviously, the length of your match kind of caps how good your match rating can be. So I think that probably knocked it down a bit. But that's alright. After the match then, James Storm runs down to attack Rob Lynch, who scarpers through the crowd to get away from him. This is the last segment, but there will be no running away at the pay-per-view for Rob Lynch. 47, so James Storm with another pretty okay promo. Now, lean on to the main card. Wow, guys, this was terrible. What did you do? I was expecting so much better from all of you. I'm disappointed in every single one of you. Wow, guys. So the first thing I saw was the segment rating. Okay, so in a bout that had great heat and decent wrestling, Kenny Williams and Judy Fleisch defeated Ace Austin and Stevie Boy when Judy Fleisch pinned Stevie Boy after being distracted by Kid Lycos. Wow, so 39. I was expecting like mid 40s. This is really bad. Okay, so Stevie Boy had a 32. That's not great. Ace Austin had a nightmare. He's like usually producing 50s and he got a 41. Judy Fleisch got a 43 and Kenny Williams got a 42. Ace Austin and Stevie Boy. So that's probably what affected them, was the fact that they didn't work well as a team. But still, just wow. I knew I was gonna, wow. Wow, that was not good. Alright, swiftly moving on. After the match, Ace Austin goes to attack Judy Fleisch with his, the cane that Ace Austin carries about. But the lights go out, and when they come back up, Ace has been laid out and his cane is missing. So again, this is the hype up the pay-per-view match between these two, but also that Sonico will be kind of joining this feud. 43, which is okay. Okay, so backstage promo, Easton Reese, he blames everyone for losing the P12. He walked out on Davey Boy because he blames Davey Boy for costing him that draw. He blames Zach Gibson for beating him, even though he beat him fair and square, but he's a heel, so he's delusional. And he blames Doug Williams just because heels have no reason, they just hate everyone. And then this will set up Easton Reese versus Davey Boy Smith at the pay-per-view in a Falls Count Anywhere match. Or maybe a last man standing, I haven't decided yet. It'll be one of like a brawl all around the building sort of match. 41, which is actually, that's better than I thought I would get from Easton Reese, so that's okay. And then the main event, Doug Williams gets his win back after losing Easton Reese in the P12. Doug Williams gets his win back on Easton, so had fantastic heat and great wrestling, and he beat him with the Chaos Theory with a 50 rated match, so it's very solid. Doug Williams probably really carrying Easton through that, so 54 from Doug and 43 from Easton. After the match then, Chris Hero comes out and he goes to nail Doug Williams with the rolling elbow, but psychs him out and doesn't do it, and then they face off before their title match at the pay-per-view. 50 segment, so Chris Hero again proving he's a very good kind of promo. Overall we got a 49, which makes sense. Our best rated promo, or best rated angle was 50, and our best rated match was 50, and then I'd say those two, I'd say the two stinkers probably dragged us down a wee bit. So 49, not bad. And overall we increased popularity in 14 regions, so that's good. So here's the news then following Wanted. So our Pro had a show. They drew 394 fans. I want to look at the rating, so it's 53. So we're not far off the pace of their shows, and they're actually a size bigger than us. So we're actually doing pretty good. I would maybe even say that their percentages will go down once, because now they're not doing trade deals with New Japan. The likes of Zack Sabre, El Phantasmo, but the likes of those people, once their loan deals run out and they won't be brought back to Rev Pro because of the trade deal falling through, they'll lose some of their best workers. Other news then, there's not really much. There is one news here that I didn't mention before. So Chris Sharp, if you remember correctly, not that long ago, WWE NXT UK was looking to renew his contract, but instead they've just pulled the contract and now he doesn't work for them at all. So I don't know what's happened there, but so Chris is at the minute exclusively ours and will actually be his priority going forwards, which is quite nice. But I don't know why they pulled his contract. It was weird. But that is it for this episode of Notorious Pro Wrestling. So next up is the Aye Yer Ballix pay-per-view in 2 days. Matches then for that will be Ace Austin versus Judy Fleisch, which will then have Sonico debut afterwards. Davey Boy Smith versus Easton Reese in either a Falls Count Anywhere match or a Last Man Standing match. I haven't decided yet. We'll also have James Storm versus Rob Lynch in a hardcore match. Then the Cyborg Wolves and a mystery partner versus all 3 members of the Filthy Generation. And finally, we will crown the first ever Notorious Pro Wrestling Heavyweight World Undisputed, whatever you want to call it, champion with Chris Hero versus Doug Williams. And you know what? We'll even have, I wasn't sure if I was going to do it, but I'm definitely going to do it now. We will have an announcement from Conor McGregor as well. Thank you very much for joining me as always. I really appreciate it. Also, yes, celebrate 100 subscribers. Friggin' mental that it only happened today of recording. So that's ridiculous. We do this as a joke. Not as a joke. Nick and I and IOI and Alex, we do this as a hobby. So it's really mental to think that 100 people listen to us, just try and make each other laugh, and then we hope that that makes you laugh. And yeah, so absolutely mental. Thank you very much. Like 100 people in our weird little family, like weird ass brothers and sisters. It is mental, and I really, really appreciate it. And I really appreciate the following we've gotten on this series. I was shitting myself doing this series by myself. Usually it's always one other person with me in the mic, on front of the mic. But the feedback has been amazing. I've had nothing but positivity from the guys watching it, from the guys at Fantasy Booker subreddit. Every comment has been nothing but positive. The guys who have come across onto YouTube then to watch this have been nothing but positive. So seriously, thank you. Thank you for the 100 subscribers. Thank you for following this series, and just thank you for everything. Thank you for enjoying our silly little hobby. It really, really makes me happy. Yes, next time, Aye Yer Ballix pay-per-view, and I will see you next time on Bash Bros.